what's up everybody? This is Shawn Hatfield from Groove Studios. In this lesson we're going to be taking a look at a 2-octave C major scale across all 6 strings. Alright, so let's get started. So we're going to be up here in the 7th position and we're actually going to be starting on our 2nd finger. So down here on the 8th fret, 2nd finger, and then 4th finger up there on the 10th fret of also the 6th string. Alright, so those are the first 2 notes, a C and a D. So next we go up to the 5th string and then we get a 7th fret, 1st finger here on the E, and then up a half step, which is 1 fret, to the F, and then we do 2 frets to get to the G with our 4th finger. So let's do that much. We get C, D, E, F, G. Okay, now let's finish up the rest of the scale. We get an A, our 1st finger of the 7th fret, B, 3rd finger, 9th fret, and then finish up the scale with our pinky on the 10th fret, 4th string. Let's try that whole thing together now. Okay, so that's a 1-octave scale. And then let's do the rest here. We'll go through the rest of the strings. So ending on that C, or starting on it for the next octave. So if we start here, and then 1st finger, 7th fret for D, 3rd finger, 9th fret for C, pinky on the 10th fret, next string, 2nd finger, 8th fret, same string, 10th fret, pinky, last string, 1st finger, 7th fret, and then we end here, the 2nd octave of the scale here, 2nd finger, 8th fret. Okay, so major scales move in a series of whole steps and half steps. Whole steps are going to be separated by 2 frets on the guitar, and half steps are going to be separated by just 1. So when we start, we go from C to D. There's 2 frets there, so that's a whole step. And we go from D to E, that's a whole step. Now, it's kind of hard to tell because we're on 2 different strings, but if you go from D to E on the same string, it'll make sense that there's 2 frets in between there. Alright, now if we keep the, so C, D, and then we get up to E, with our 1st finger here, the first half step in the series happens here. Right after E comes F. We're not going to go up to F sharp, which is the 9th fret there. We're going to go right to F, which I said before when we did the scale. So we get whole step, and then a half step. Okay, then we get 3 whole steps in a row. And then we end with a half step. Okay, and then the same thing on the higher part of the scale. And don't forget, I'm going to include a free PDF chart to go along with the scale. We were in C position here. Now let's jump down to G position. So we're going to be taking where we were starting with our 2nd finger up here on the C. Now we're going to put that all the way down here, 3rd fret, same string on a G note. Okay? This is a good way to practice because up here the frets are a little smaller. It's pretty easy to play across the strings, not as much stretching. Down here in 2nd position, the frets are a lot larger, so a little bit tougher to play on the left hand. Okay, so if you watched me and if you look at the chart, my fingers are in the exact same position and exact same form and pattern with my left hand. I'm not changing anything I'm doing other than moving my hand to a different position. So the ratio stays the same. 7 through 10 here, or 2 through 5 in 2nd position. So this is one way you can learn a standard major scale across all 6 strings using 2 octaves while simultaneously getting some stretching out of the left hand, some practice with different picking in your right hand like we did in the last exercise. You might want to practice tremolo picking if you're used to doing that across these types of scales. That would be something like I'm learning and playing the scale while practicing something kind of difficult with my right hand. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're practicing different rhythm durations, so starting with quarter notes. Then do eighth notes. And then sixteenths. If you can practice and get the sixteenths nice and clean, you want to maybe speed up your tempo a little bit, but if you're having trouble getting the sixteenths clean, slow it down. Start somewhere maybe about 80 beats per minute is a good solid spot to start that. Don't feel bad if you still can't do it at 80, slow it down a little bit. Slower is always better with these types of exercises, so you can get to know them before you try to play them as fast as you can. Okay, that's not the point of these. You really want to learn the C major scale and be able to play it at different rhythm durations. Okay, that's what's important here. So this has been a lesson on a 6-string, 2-octave major scale. You can play this, like I said, anywhere up and down the neck as long as you know what your root note is. We focused on C and then we did G major. But again, you can move it anywhere on here, okay? Flats, sharps, natural notes, anywhere up and down the neck. So thanks for tuning in to this third lesson. We'll see you next week. Thanks.